Howdy, y'all. Seems like volume's a little low. Howdy. My voice isn't warmed up yet. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hill's here, expanding as I sometimes do. But we haven't expanded, it's true, yet. We're trying something different from last night. Da 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 da. Okay. So, we were trying some experimental stream text stuff yesterday, and we're trying some other experimental stream stuff today. We've got the TCG Tuesday this afternoon. So this is going to be a short stream this morning because I don't know how long this TCG thing is going to go on later, but I'm hoping it's a while. So, it should, for those of you on 1080p screens, it should look crisper than usual because I've basically, Twitch only lets me send 6 megabits a second. But if you use view source on this, you'll be getting 10 megabits a second or whatever. So it should look a lot better than it would normally look. Okay, so we're just making noises with my mouth, trying to get my throat warmed up. I tried singing to Ollie earlier, and did not work well in terms of my voice. I think the video came out endearing. It came out as a nice happy birthday video to Ollie, but it did not come out as a wow, my voice sounds fantastic. I'm definitely awake. Okay, so we got some coffee to drink. We got some tech to check. So, checking experimental tech. We're flying around all of the stuff so we can mess with video. Yeah, we'll set up the stream and we'll put render distance up to 70 and then it looks great. We will see it as we fly right there. Flying around with these rockets, waiting to see which chunks load up. Then when we see which chunks don't load, we will know which way to go. Flying toward all the chunks we don't have cached in 120.1, and then our game will cache them, and Bobby Mod will reallocate them out. Good morning, Mahi Zero in the Discord. Good morning, Evanetta and Simos14 and Karen Hogglestad and Lunar Cot in the other thing. Welcome, Riandam. People have been complaining about YouTube not sending them, what do you call it? Alerts when my stream goes live. Out of curiosity, is that something that it would be worth me developing an app for? Like, I don't know if that's worth me developing an app for, but I do have an Apple Store developer license. So, and if I set up just a basic app that points at the joehills.net/live stream and then sends you push alerts on your phone, would that be valuable to people? Because the infrastructure to send one push alert every time I go live is not a very high requirement. But I also have zero experience making Android apps, and I don't know how their push notification infrastructure works. So that might not actually help anyway. Morning, everybody. We're just loading some extra chunks for Bobby Mod before the TCG event later. So if we wanted to do some dramatic shots from around the TCG arena. Okay, see, that all blinking out like that, that worries me a little bit. I don't love that. Just making sure we're not missing any chunks in here. Are these chunks missing or are they dark? Like, are these lighting glitches or... Probably should be using my trident for this. But it's a lot easier to see from up here with the rockets, like, what is and isn't loaded. So it looks like I need to go out to here before I swing right. Looks like I haven't visited Impulse Island at all. Yeah, Bobby mod and replay mod work very well together. But you gotta pre-cache everything. And since we're gonna be doing a lot of stuff later on today... I want to make sure that everything around both arenas is well cached. This is not the optimal way to do this. No, it's not optimal. I'm flying kind of awkwardly. It's kind of not the way to do this. But I kind of figure, screw it. I'll just fly around and load some chunks and load more chunks till they're loaded. Flying around a little bit, then flying around more bits. Oh, hey, don't forget, y'all. The Craft with Cleo stream tomorrow is going to be short because at 10 a.m. U.S. Central Time, normally I stream with Cleo from 8:30 a.m. to around 11 a.m. Usually we do about 2.5 hours. It's only going to be a 1.5 hour stream tomorrow because I've got Mario Kart 8 Wave 5 with Impulse, Ollie, and possibly some other pals. So that'll be fun. So if you enjoy our Mario Kart streams, I'm going to be doing one of those. Welcome, Lord Giblets. Welcome, Crafts. JJ says, since I didn't get a chance to properly say goodbye at POC, consider this my thanks for inviting me and hanging out over the weekend. I had a great time. Oh, yeah. You're most welcome. No, that's how conventions are. You never know, like, when the last time you're going to see somebody is at the event. So I was not, like, offended that you did not thank me in person at the end or anything. We're good. We're good. Mahi says, I saw your birthday message to Ollie and it was very Joe. So I did that birthday video while I was trying to get a cup for my... I had brought my coffee into the studio in the French press, but I had forgotten to bring a mug. And then I saw it was Ollie's birthday. And I walked out of the studio multiple times. Each time I got something else for Ollie's... to set up the thing to call, or to record Ollie's birthday message. And each time I was like, oh, I forgot to get the coffee mug. So it took me, like, leaving the studio 4 times to get the mug. That was not my best. On some level, maybe I should keep some clean mugs in here, so then I only have to carry the French press in the morning. That would actually make some sense. Because the kitchen is tiny anyway. So getting some of the mugs out of there would save some space. Imogen says, Joe and Ollie stream, that'll be a delight. Yeah, I'm not sure who else has been formally announced, but it's definitely Ollie, Impulse, and I are the ones I know I'm allowed to talk about. If you've seen other people say they're going to be there, they're probably going to be there, but I haven't seen that I'm allowed to say that they're going to be there, so I'm not going to confirm or deny anybody. But it would not surprise me if the person that Pepper mentioned is also going to be there. That would not surprise me at all. So, for those of y'all watching at the full 1080p, I'm actually streaming at a higher bitrate than usual. I would normally stream at 6 megabits a second, but we're streaming at 12 megabits a second. So, in theory, the video might look better. I'm not sure if it does or not. I would love some feedback on that on your end. Because I don't necessarily get to see what the encoded video looks like on my end until I'm editing it later. But in theory, they should look better. This is twice as much bandwidth as Twitch will let us send them. So now that we're not tethered to Twitch, I tried going full 4K, but that created some weird problems with YouTube that I haven't had time to troubleshoot. So we're seeing how does 1080p plus compare to full 4K? There's a lot of bees that have gotten their chunks unloaded over here. They must fly up that way and then not get their what they need. Oh, what we are almost out of is rockets, actually. So I think we're gonna start flying back this way. But yeah, as you can see, we are currently at video settings, 77 chunks. Let's turn that up a little bit. Let's play with this. 100 chunks. Warlunar says, I noticed less artifacts than at the 6 megabits a second 1080p. Imogen says, I've got a pack for the next few days for moving home. These streams are going to be good and relaxing to get me through the stress. Yep, we're going to have morning streams every day this week. Lots of chunks are all popping in. We're loading up chunks, I think about. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I should make sure that I don't. My elytra is about to break. Okay. So now that it's getting dark, I'm kind of like, we should maybe just speed in. I missed Corrales saying, I see you, Joe. Eddie Corrales, womp womp. Okay, so let's bring the extra elytra, just in case. Oh, I was gonna consolidate these two boxes anyway. Carry the extra ender chest with us. That makes sense. Okay, so we have our cards ready. We have 2 decks prepared. One of them is better than the other. We've got our alter ego pack, and we've got our speedrunner deck. So I'm excited about that. Oh, we can come up here and we can see which chunks we haven't loaded in this direction, too. That's interesting. Task Tony says, dude, you have to be one of the hardest working hermits. You stream for hours almost every day. I do what I can. We're all working hard. I just do more of my process in public. There's a reason that I haven't gotten a video out lately. It's because I have not been able to make time to edit. So a lot of the other hermits are way better. I'm better at getting onto the server than some of them. Like, I spend more hours a day on the server, but I spend less hours a day editing. So they're working more, and they're getting stuff done. I'm just over here doing my thing, you know? Okay. If I click on that. Hold on. There's a way inside of here to turn. This is the YouTube's stuff here is the worst. Okay. So there's a way somewhere for me to remove that heart that I found the other day. I just gotta figure out where to do it. Oh, I can remove showing how many viewers like the stream. Interesting. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't like talking about that. Live reactions off. Okay. Are TCG Tuesdays mostly going to be on live streams? Yeah, but some of those are going to end up in episodes too. Okay. So there's the perimeter. We can see kind of like where we flew earlier and where we didn't fly earlier. So where there's fog off into the distance, that's like, okay, the chunks beyond that are there. But where there's just like a hard cut, like on the right side of the screen, there's kind of a hard cut. That means we haven't cached those chunks since the 120.1 update. But yeah, we can see the docks perimeter loading in over there. Things that are lower load in last because I'm so high up. It's kind of a rendering trick. But, okay. Emmett says, I appreciate the stream versus video format. Videos are for sitting down and paying attention. Streams can be on while I'm living my life and they're more social. Yeah, the streams are definitely less visually focused. Okay. So yeah, you see stuff coming in from the fog. That's stuff that we've preloaded. But there's definitely a hard line here where you can see the preloading stopped. And we're going to have to get in range of those chunks on the network to start backing those up to the local hard drive cache. So now they're starting to pop in here. You can see the chunks loading ahead of us where we flew earlier. Getting that network data about all of the chunks we fly around. Okay, so these are all popping in now. This area over here we have been to do some resource gathering, it looks like, so that's all popping back in fine. This is over by the mining desert here. Well, maybe this is not all popping back in. Maybe that's just the radius of the network. Yeah. Mahi0O says, Joe, have you shared the tip link? No, I think I forgot. Oh yeah, I should mention that this is a viewer-supported stream. We are currently $20 away from our first face camera expansion milestone, and tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. I remember hanging out over here. This grassy area is different. Is this a different desert than the one? This desert's not all mined out. Maybe I'm in the wrong place. Well, we can easily see where the chunks we have explored are, because they're loaded still back that way. I think that was my beacon. Is there a sign on that that says Joe Hills, don't forget your beacon? I think I put a sign on this one. Joe Hills left this year on December 19th, 2022. Yup. Yup. I was like, I think that's my beacon, but I don't... I knew that I was gonna... I was like, if I put this here, I'm gonna forget. Because this is not the sort of place I would normally put a beacon, but I did in this case. I'm gonna put in a sign. Okay, see, these chunks are loading further out. So you can tell that we've actually been here extensively for our mining operation. Tell Cub about the beacon for the museum. I don't know if it deserves to be in a museum. not like that special. It's just kind of funny to me that I forgot about it. Okay, so from up here, I can see which chunks I've loaded and which ones I haven't. Seems like a lot of them I haven't. So we're gonna go cache these. Don't know what makes your chunks implode. That's the way the movie ends. Yeah. Hey, we got our first PayPal tip of the stream from Leslie for 5, who says, Happy TCG Tuesday, Joe. Thank you very much, Leslie. Let's get that on the abacus here. We're going to be starting TCG Tuesday at about 2 o'clock U.S. Central Time today. That's in about, let's see, it's almost 9 o'clock, so that's in about 5 hours. Gotcha. Well, Lord Giblet, sorry you have to go under such unfortunate circumstances, but it's good that you're getting that taken care of for the benefit of everyone who will be attending. When you're coming home, Dad, don't know when. We'll get together then, yeah. We'll get together then. The cat's in the cradle with the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man in the moon. Dun 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 dun. Some of these are definitely not optimal, but... Okay, this is Flower Farm area over here. Hey Basil, we are currently testing streaming at a higher bitrate but the same resolution, and that's a good excuse to fly around some and pre-cache some chunks. Since the 120.1 update, I haven't actually reloaded some of my Bobby mod cache. So there's a way to do it where I manually pull the world download files and dump them in. But the problem is that sometimes causes glitches with replay mod, and replay mod is where we really need this the most. So it's kind of better to just fly around myself. Cheesiest writes, impromptu server tour. Vash guy says, morning Joe, hope you're having a good week. Yeah, I'm been getting some rest. My muscles are much less sore than yesterday, so I'm hoping to actually be able to go run some errands today, instead of just thinking about it and then laying back down. Oh boy, I was wiped out yesterday, and I'm still a little sore today, but like, I could tell every time I got up from a nap yesterday that my body had healed some. I'm like, this is working. I should keep doing it. Hey, we got another tip rolling in via PayPal. Let's get some elevation there, altitude there. We got 5 rolling in from DD81_, who says, I'm off work for a few weeks and very happy to catch more streams than usual. Hope you're enjoying the summer, Joe. I sure am. I just got back from Wisconsin and then PlayOnCon. That's about it for my travels this summer. Those were my 2 big trips. I was hoping I could get over to England this summer and see my fiance, but we were not able to make that work from a financial standpoint. So instead, I'm going to get to see my fiance in October. I'm going to be going up to Toronto. I'm going to get to see Paul Gross in King Lear. I'm super excited about that. My fiance got us tickets to that. At the Stratford Theater. That's going to be very, very cool. Is that a random gas ball? Did y'all see that? That was one of those random unloaded chunk gas balls. Just flew past. JJ says, I sent a tip and got it confirmed, but I don't know if you got a notification. Well, sometimes, JJ, they take a little bit of time to go through. So, no, I haven't gotten one yet. When did you send it? If it was like less than 15 minutes, it's probably going to go through on its own. If it was more than 15 minutes, I should probably try to open the PayPal app on my phone. Okay. Yep, it's showing up on my phone. Joju says, for those confused, here's how to tip, and tips 10. Well, thank you so much, Joju. Let's get that on our abacus here. Do-do-do-do. That gets us evenly to our first face camera expansion milestone. So here we go. Please direct your attention down here to slot 9, where I'm putting the hot in the hot bar, so I can say, howdy, y'all. Grow Hills here, expanding as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. Dee-da-dee-da-dee. Dee-da-dee-da-dee. Okay, so we are just flying around, loading some chunks, getting all this going on. What? Yep, you did the face camera expansion. Yay, good job. Okay. Okay, so we're down to 64 rockets. We should probably start wandering back toward home. We still have not gotten as far out as I had for the 119 chunk cache, though. So I kind of feel like I should keep going just to get everything loaded. Oh wait, I think I got a lot of this already. Oh no, I didn't, because I didn't get that tree. Yeah. This is a different lava pool. Okay. Okay, see those loading in the distance there, that's a good sign that we're actually getting into stuff that we've preloaded. Awesome. DD says, I was in the UK last week, 3 days in London with my son. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I haven't had the chance to take my daughter to London yet. That's definitely in our queue. But that might not happen until after my fiance moves here and gets a green card. Because it can take a couple of years to get a green card after coming here on a fiance visa. And then it's like during the fiance visa process, you can't enter the country. And then once you finish the fiance visa process, when you start the green card process, you can't leave the country until it's complete. So it's like there's going to be like a year or more where my fiance can't come here. And then there's going to be like 2 years where we can't go back to England. So like maybe 3 years from now, we'll take my daughter on a big trip to London. Once my fiance can go back. It's... Oh, Joju, I thought that was how... I thought I was pronouncing it wrong when other people were calling you that at, I was like, oh, maybe the vowels are silent or something. Because of the way people were pronouncing it at PlayOnCon. I didn't think that was your real name. I just have no idea. I follow what other people say for pronunciation. Oh boy. Oh, did I repost the tip link after we got the, yeah. Did I repost the tip link after we got 20? Okay, we are now 20 away from our next face camera expansion milestone. Corrales is back on the server. Woohoo, Corrales, we missed you, buddy. Okay. I am kind of curious if in the new version of... Well, there's the gas ball. It's still going. Well, whatever. I was going to say, I am kind of curious if in the new version of Replay Mod / Bobby Mod / Minecraft, I can set my view distance further and get more efficient. Since it's gotten better efficiency on lighting and chunk loading and stuff, I might be able to see further without the game crashing. Yeah, TCG Tuesday is going to start in about 5 hours. Okay, so we got a little camp up here. That's fun. Basil Hunter says, can you share how the TCG collector card sales are going from your perspective? Technically, yes. But it's, I'm not sure people want to hear it. It's in the disconcerting valley, basically. Yeah, generally, like, it's like I've sold enough that I'm certain it's going to negatively impact the amount of tips I get this month, but it is not sold enough that it will offset what I'm expecting to lose in tips this month. So it's not very positive, so I haven't really said anything about it. Is kind of... If it was absolutely zero, I'd be like, that's fine, because I know how much to expect to make this month on tips. But it's enough that I'm like, ooh. Imogen says, Is there any way I can tip without PayPal taking a chunk of it? Not sure if it's because of currency conversion or what, but they want 20%. That's got to be the currency conversion, Imogen, because PayPal normally takes, like, single-digit, like, PayPal normally takes, like, a very small percentage. If you're dealing with a currency that I don't, if you're dealing with a currency that has a high transaction rate, that's going to be the same in any, like, because if you tip through YouTube, I will say YouTube definitely charges more for currency conversion than PayPal does. PayPal has one of the best currency conversion rates. But, like, with your particular country, maybe there's something better, but I don't have it on my end. Okay, yeah, we're going to need to get a box out here. But yeah, foreign currency conversion is just expensive in general. Like, anywhere you go, there's going to be a chunk of that taken out. That's actually one of the highest I've heard, too, which is... So I'm really curious where it is. I'm curious where it's coming from. But yeah, with YouTube, after they do currency conversions, sometimes I lose like 50%. So yeah, that's why I usually recommend, if people have the option of tipping via PayPal, I'd prefer PayPal to YouTube. Imogen says, well, it was 20% of what I was going to send. Hopefully it's a flat fee and not... Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, is if you're sending a very small amount, sometimes with, sometimes with currency conversions, they might have, like, a minimum thing where it's, like, they're going to charge you $2 plus a percentage, right? So if you're like, okay, well, I'm only sending $5, it might seem like it's... But, like, if you were sending $50, it would... That $2 minimum surcharge is different, right? Does that make sense? Like, fractionally. Yeah. If you were going to send a very small amount from a foreign currency, that's not always worth it. Sometimes maybe just save it up for a bigger tip later. Okay. So I don't know if this might be from you, this might be from somebody else, because there's no instructions on the name. So we just got 20 even rolling in from Charlene. Probably a totally different person, because otherwise that would not have come out quite so round. So thank you very much to Charlene for the 20. That is one full face camera expansion. So here we go. It's time to expand Joe. Do. And we're going to let those chunks load in while we fly this way. Imogen, oh yeah, Imogen is a separate person who says, yeah, $5 in your currency, let's see what a bigger tip will charge me. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather that you waited and, like if there is something like, oh, it's charging you a flat dollar plus a percentage, you know, I'd rather you waited and sent $10 in 2 weeks or whatever, rather than sending rather than getting hit with the currency conversion flat minimum twice, right? There's another ghast ball! It just flew right in front of me. Oh my gosh. They're just out there living their best lives. Oh wow, this ice boat course goes back a ways. I didn't realize that. I was like, I think I've loaded the whole ice boat course. I have not. Oh, this is gonna look great when it's done. This is absolutely gorgeous already. Go load in these mountains over here a little better, since those will be visible in the background from the ice boat course anyway. Etho has an ice boat course map near the start, and it's huge. Yeah, apparently. Wow. Oh, yeah, there's more markers out here. Okay, so probably a good time to head back and fix our elytra, just as a side note. It's so cool just flying around the server, though, and just having a little bit of a chance to just relax and take it in. Hey. We got a tip rolling in from Imogen. Thank you very much, Imogen, for tipping 25, who says, enough lurking on my part. It's time to cough up. Thanks, Joe. Well, thank you very much, Imogen, as well. Let's get that on the abacus here. Boom, 25. Yay. So here we go. It's time to expand, Joe. Do-do-do-do. Yeah, I was thinking, like, from up here. Like, how far out do we need to be able to see back to my base from the ice boat course? I think it's generally this way. The chunks should start loading in. Of course, it's nighttime, so. Imogen says, "Whee! I made Joe big! Yay! Thank you very much." Badger Spanner writes, all those pesky gas balls. Oh, hey, Badger. I didn't see that earlier, sorry. I just, my brain. I'm still waking up. Still gotta go grocery shopping. But my muscles are way less sore today. I'm definitely on the mend. Luckily, I had plenty of food in the freezer, holding me over. But yeah, it's time to go get some fresh food after this. Then we'll be back for the TCG event with Cub and other hermits. I've got 2 decks prepared. One of them is not as good as the other, but they're both fun, I think. Yeah, the pinball machine should be popping into view up ahead here. Options, video settings. Let's try turning that up a little bit higher. Yeah, 127 seems about right. I'm trying not to fly past chunks faster than they load. Just get a nice casual glide going. Casual glide, fly super casually. La 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 la. Okay, let's see. It's only the 11th day of the month. Wow. Feels like it's later. Oh. Okay, what is that that's lighting up? Is that Ethos base there? What is that? Is that Total Chaos? Is there a secret thing built into the mountain here that I just didn't know about? I flew over it the other way and didn't see it. What is this? Is this a secret vintage beef house? Oh, we're by the perimeter. We should go touch that redstone. Yeah, it might be Doc's Anvil Throw. You're probably right. A lot of withers. Okay, so the pinball machine then will be up here. We've doubled the bit rate compared to what we were doing on Twitch. We're at 12 megabits a second instead of 6. So in theory, fewer artifacts. That's in theory. Okay, so we have 2 elytra that are both pretty busted up. No, slime's not in here. Okay, so we're gonna put one of these here, one of these on. And that fixed both of those pretty well. Within reason. Yay. Okay, so the frame rate down here isn't great when we're loading that many chunks, but that's kind of to be expected when you have that much loaded that you can't see anyway. IB Roque says, Joe, it's been a hot minute since I watched the stream. No more Twitch. Not this morning. This afternoon stream, I should have Twitch set up again. But Twitch won't let me simulcast from the same sources, so I've got to get different sources. It's a whole frustrating thing. Yeah, I have to send separate video and audio feeds to Twitch. It's a whole very frustrating thing. Let's just give this a second and see how far we can get with it. Stretch out for a minute. Stretch out. Do 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 do. Stretch out. Do 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 do. Stretch out. The particles are gonna drive me crazy from that smoke. Hold on. Put it behind me. There we go. It's funny, you can see more of the perimeter than you should be able to, I think. Well, maybe not, because the chunks in front of it haven't loaded in yet. Trees will block it a little bit. Hey, NJ. Just testing some high bitrate YouTube streaming. Also, updating my Bobby mod cache for 120.1 on the desktop. We had done that on the laptop, but it's not one-to-one between the two systems. It's better to do them. You get fewer weird replay mod glitches if you generate the cache locally. You technically can share the cache between computers, but you get weird errors sometimes, and then you don't know that until you're 3 hours into your replay mod render. And I don't want to deal with that. Is the computer smoking yet? No. The computer generates less heat when I'm streaming and recording and playing games than it does when I'm not, because I usually have it running folding at home. Seeing your starter base and mega base in the same frame is pretty neat. Yeah, there's a lot of room for us to expand still this season. There's Green's base starting to pop in. I'm not sure why that area behind Cleo's isn't loading at all. Like, it's got like a hard line there. I think that might be a visual glitch, but I'm going to give it some time to see how it goes. Okay, I'm going to put that little bar there so that way I can Alt-Tab out without it breaking. Bobby plus high bitrate is a good combo, says Unlimited Creativity. Thank you. Triforce says, looks amazing. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Nope, Queen says greens and Scar are slow because they're full of Doc's eggs. Well, this doesn't load entities from that distance. It'll only load chunks. Or not chunks, blocks. I don't think those are blocks. SK says, this makes everything look close, but when the hermits are flying around, it seems far away. Well, I mean, it is far away, though. But I mean, yeah, like Scarland and Dockspace are really close to my pinball machine. Shopping District is close by. SK says you can see the egg trail there. Oh, can you? I'm curious what that weird scaffold thing is on the left there. Is that part of the Villager Trading Center in Scar's Hurricane area, maybe? Soup Group Tango, XP, and Corellis are yeah, they're to the left of Grian's base. I don't know what the egg trail is that y'all are talking about. Is that dark line kind of between Scarland and Grian's base? Total Chaos is popping in now. If I go take a look at Scarland, it'll throw off the whole render. I gotta stand up, or I gotta stay where I am for this to not break anything. Loading this many chunks out, you really gotta stand still for a while. Because you gotta keep in mind, it takes, like... It's not linear. The further you go out, the more chunks need to render in order to give you even a tiny slice of data. Like, your field of vision, at the beginning, like, directly in front of me might be, like, I don't know, like, 20 chunks wide. But my field of vision up there is, like, 100 or 200 chunks wide. Or maybe 1,000 even. So the further back you see, like, the number of chunks you see is way higher. Yeah, there's Total Chaos popping in now. SK said it'd be cool to see the 360-degree pan. Well, it's only loading the ones in front of me. So that would... Basically, everything to the... If I turn the camera quickly to the left or right, you would just see sky. In theory, I could use Replay Mod to render a 360-degree 3D video. But the problem is, replay mod is memory constrained here, and I wouldn't be able to render as far out in any direction if I was looking in all directions. One of the reasons I can look so far in this particular direction is because I'm not rendering anything behind me. But there is a way to force it to render 360 degrees in replay mod. Nope Queen says, why can I see the curvature of the Earth? It loads the chunks directly in front of me first, and the ones further off to the side last. So it creates kind of an arc. I think Ethos Base just popped in behind my pinball machine there. Yeah. So this is the server at night. Everybody's very sleepy. Is there anyone on the server who can sleep? I don't know, maybe. But I'm not going to trouble them, because I also like just looking at stuff at night, too. You don't get to see this stuff at night from this angle very often. So, there's the gigapies in the lower right. That sign wasn't, or digapie sign wasn't very obvious before. I'm trying to see if there's still chunks popping in. We might be near the limit, but I feel like if we were at the limit, it would look smoother. In terms of where the fog meets. Who's that big arrow in the middle? Oh, that's the cursor. Sorry. Womp womp. SK says it's interesting to see what it actually is lit up. Yeah, that's the other thing, is a lot of people aren't necessarily watching the screens super close during these streams, so it's good to give them a chance to pop back over and take a look. Cheesius writes, this is amazing. Thank you, Cheesius. Yeah, it's good to just get a sense of your place in the universe every so often here. Everybody to the limit. The cheat is to the limit. Everybody to the limit. Come on. We'll stand here until at least day dawns again. Because I do want to see what it looks... I think we've hit full chunk loading at this render distance, but I want to see what it looks like with the daylight, too. But yeah, as you can tell, we have definitely not lit up the entire server. This is... Whew. I am not on my Mac. Check the directory that it caches to and see if there are updates. Well, no, dash. The thing is that the caching is when you're flying around, you're generating cache. We're loading from the cache right now, but that wouldn't be updates to the cache. I think maybe a chunk just popped in the upper right, so it might not actually be as far out as it can be yet. It's hard to tell in the nighttime. Yeah, so we're pulling back from the cache. When we were flying around, we were putting files into the cache. And when we're standing here just looking out, let's see how much memory Minecraft is using at this point. It is, I'm looking at my RAM is still increasing. So that means it is still pulling chunks from the disk into memory. We're at 26.9 gigs of memory, 27 gigs of memory used. 27.1. Disk performance is practically nothing. The amount that it has to read from disk here. It takes more time for Minecraft to process the chunks. Like, the constraint is Minecraft will read the chunk from disk and then try to render it in. But in order to render it in, it needs to, like, process a bunch of, like, what's in the chunk, what's where, that sort of thing. So... No, I mean, there's a way to look at disk performance, but disk performance is, like, hovering between 0 and 1%. How much RAM do I have allocated to my Minecraft? A lot. More than is wise. Yeah, we're up to 27.2 gigs. Excuse me. 27.3. The sun should be rising soon. So if you want to see this at night, now's your kind of last chance. Isn't that what Slade B-dubs' computer RAM allocation? I don't know what B-dub said in public about his computer, so I will not comment on that. I assisted a little bit behind the scenes, but I don't know. This is one of those things when you ask me about a hermit's health or their tech stack or anything, like there's certain stuff where it's like I don't know what is and isn't public knowledge, so I will not comment. Just for operational security reasons. Oh, Okay, here we go. Sun is rising on the Hermitcraft server. Just as a reminder, if you are enjoying this kind of morning chill coffee stream, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. We are currently 15 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. Okay, yep. Based on the fog effect that I can see on the chunks and the edges there, yeah, I can definitely tell that we have maxed out everything. We've got the hurricane in the far left. That wasn't really visible before. We've got a bit of Ethos base visible behind my base there. Okay. But yeah. Got a big old pit there. Got a big old pinball machine there. Am I taking screenshots? I guess I can. If that's the sort of thing people care about, then done. Okay. So part of me wants to see if we can, how far we can push it. Now, we had an extra 5 gigs of RAM available at this view distance, but so 152 is like where I calculated the theoretical maximum here. Let's find out how theoretical that math was, maybe. Now, unfortunately, it's got to reload all those chunks with the new view distance, which is like the most obnoxious part of the Minecraft renderer. Now, the thing is, it didn't free up all that memory that was allocated. So that makes me think that the chunks are still in memory. It's just re-rendering them with the new view distance in mind. Or something. Daniel Gray says, math on stream, what could go wrong? Well, this was actually math I frantically did before the stream. I was like, I think if I set this higher than 152, the game will crash, based on some experimenting I did with 119 and this computer. But I also know that, like, the new version, 120.1, is theoretically more efficient than 119 in some ways, so we might be able to go higher. So this is an additional 25 chunks of render distance. We were at 125. We just jumped up to 152. Emmett says, is there non-frantic math? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, so Cheesy says there's a mod I have called Fabershot that lets you take double resolution screenshots of what you're seeing. I'm not sure how it would let you do that. Because, like, unless it's somewhere upstream in the video processing pipeline. But I don't know how that would work logically, unless you're downgrading what you're seeing on the screen in your video pipeline somewhere. Cheesy says, I can't tell you how it works, but it works. Well, yeah, but what I'm curious about is how it works. This is what I, as a computer enthusiast, I'm curious how it works. Loopy says, most game engines have the option to super sample, where it'll briefly do something like put a single frame into the buffer at the super resolution, then capture that frame. Interesting. Interesting. Because I'm not sure that Minecraft would have that out of the box, but they might be able to do that. Okay. While we wait for this to load, I'm supposed to also be checking my correspondence and stuff during these streams, and instead I just flew around. So let's make sure I don't have, like, any important emails. Stern's next release. And more in this Stern of the Union. Hosting soon. So that hasn't started yet. Cosmo Quest, Summertime Catch Up. Tiltify. Okay, let's check the spam folder real quick. Nothing in there we need to worry about. Checking the other inbox. Hey, we got a tip rolling in. Let's see who that is from. We got 15 rolling in from Yvonne, who says, it's awesome seeing all these builds in one frame. So much creativity. Woo! Thank you, Yvonne. That's going to get us evenly to our next face camera expansion. So here we go. Expand. That puts us now $20 away from the entrance of the Jost. Excuse me. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Okay. So, let me keep going through my messages here, make sure that I haven't missed anything important. Okay, nothing important in that inbox. Let's check computer hardware news website real quick, make sure there's nothing I need to adjust in my upcoming budget purchase plans. Dun 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 dun. Security update paused, so don't need to grab that yet. Okay. Giving this a chance to catch up. Welcome, David. Welcome, Shinlu. Shinlu says, I don't think I saw this much of the server once before. Yeah, we're doing kind of a stress test of the Bobby mod right now. This is kind of an experimental stream. We're doing a lot of things kind of experimental. We're seeing if I can render the server at 152 chunk render distance. This is live on the server right now. This is not replay mod. So, yeah, this is me logged into the server. Can I /list to get a list of the players? It's just me online right now, but render it overnight. Well, we shouldn't have to render it overnight. We should be able to render it in a few minutes. So we're seeing how many minutes. Okay. Whoops, sorry. Okay. Okay, what do we got here? so let's go ahead and cancel that subscription real quick. Save a little money on that. Golden Lagscast said apparently there was a huge screenshot function back in Minecraft beta 1.2 to 1.4, so I guess there was some functionality to allow super resolution screenshots. Speculating, of course. And Loopy says it probably wasn't latent in the code the whole time. The mod probably re-implements it from scratch. Well, the thing is that even if it wasn't quote-unquote latent in the code, the fact that the rendering pipeline supported it that early means that the rendering pipeline would still be amenable to such a modification later. Okay, so it's getting dark now. By the time the sun rises, hopefully we'll get everything else popped in. Because, yeah, Total Chaos hasn't even popped in yet. Okay. Shinlu says, I just now realized I had no clue where Total Chaos is. It's between my build and Cleo's build, but like in the background. It's still loading in. Like, very, very small bits of it have started popping in. Boom, 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 bada, bada, boom. Boom, 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 bada, bada, boom. Dun, 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 dun. What am I standing on? I'm standing on the Corrales ring fall game. Oh, how many nights until we start having phantoms attack us? This is not a full 360 view. This is just within our field of vision. There's Total Chaos. You can see the white and orange now. Just popped in more fully. So, yeah, we got some chunks loading out in the right. This is about where we got to with the 125 render distance. And I still have plenty of RAM left. So we're going to see how far we can push this extended render distance. There are a few missing chunks in various places this time, which might be as a result of the longer render distance too. I'm not sure. Okay. The last one was 125 chunks. Now we're doing 152 chunks. We are doing 27 chunks deeper, which might not be enough to matter. There might not be anything of visual interest at that distance, but maybe there is. I guess we'll find out, huh? Also, it might crash. We don't... 152 is, I think, the safe render distance. But I'm not sure. David says, been watching Beef and Etho hanging out on Modded. Ooh, that's fun. Yeah, I like Beef, and I like Etho. They're two of my favorite Canadians. Obviously, Gem is greater, but, you know, we can't all be Gem. So, I get it. Excuse me. Yeah, Ethos base is behind the pinball machine there. Yep, by the time the sun rises, we will definitely have chunks loading in that we didn't get last time on the previous pass. We are caught up with where we were last time, and we are now rendering further out. Okay, great. I got word that Queen Dark Lady is going to be modding for me during the Mario Kart stream tomorrow, so that should be a lot of fun. So Mario Kart is at 10 a.m. tomorrow, immediately following the craft stream. Okay, yeah, we're definitely rendering further out this time. You can see more of the sand behind Cleo's base there already. You can see for more of the mountains past docks there. These are areas that I know for sure that we cached. We flew over a lot of this stuff. Yeah, but you see the trees popping in behind Total Chaos, just like a pixel or two here or there. Yeah, we've turned it up to 152 chunks render distance. Okay. Boom. Oh yeah, when does my HTTPS certificate end? I feel like that's coming up. Okay, no, February. Great. One less thing to worry about. Will this affect chunk loaders? No. I downloaded all of these into a local cache by flying over them, and we're rendering them from the local cache now. So if somebody set off a huge explosion in the perimeter right now, I wouldn't see it, because the network isn't communicating to me updates about those chunks. It's just loading in a snapshot of them, basically, from when I flew over them last. Yep, we're still loading in stuff on the left up there, too. So, yeah, I don't know if y'all have seen my TCG card, but we actually used something similar to make sure that the Crassel and the Suma's Tower and the museums were all in the right place. Emmett says, true science often requires sitting still for a long time and watching the same thing. Well, in fairness, I'm not staring at it. Ooh, okay, I can see the fog effect lightly applying to some of the chunks in the center now. So, like, the chunks directly to the right of Doc's flag in that little valley, those are the furthest out that we're going to get. So the first of the 152 chunks, 152 distance chunks have come in. There's a very subtle fog effect that gets applied to the last chunk that loads in. Like the most distant possible chunks. So that's one of the ways I can tell when this is done. Because if the most distant chunks are all crisp, then that means there's another row at least that needs to load in behind them. Okay. Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum. Dun dun dun. Dun dun. Do 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 do. Emmett says, I like the missing chunk right in front of you. Minecraft just hasn't gotten to that one yet. Yeah, I know, right? That's the frustrating part, is like I can't tell it which chunks to prioritize. There's like 4 missing chunks over by Cleo's base in the water, too. That's kind of annoying me. I can see 6 missing chunks. There's one over by ZF's as well, I think. They'll load in eventually, but yeah. Okay, so you see that foggy mountain to the right of the pinball machine? That's as far as that's gonna load. The fog effect means we've hit the max render distance there too. We might have phantoms next night. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Mario Kart will be YouTube only because there's no way to do a second loadout easily on the on Twitch. Jesus says the only way to force it to load is to point the camera right at them, and that would mess up the rest of the render. Yeah, we're not doing that. That would absolutely mess up the rest of the render. Okay. Yeah, I was just checking in to see if there's any graphics card news while I was away, and the answer seems to be no. Nope, no, people just gave up. They're like, we put out some back in the beginning of the year. We're good. Okay, cool. See if there's any processor news of interest. Because I'm likely to buy a Mac for the next computer, so this ostensibly doesn't matter, but just on the off chance that somebody did something like that absolutely blew that away. So at the very edge of decked out, loading in behind Grand's base. No, that is Scar's hurricane boat thing. It's a shame we don't have... I was hoping to get the hills that surround the valley that Etho is in, and it looks like those are just a little bit too far out, or maybe those are going to come in later. Because it still seems pretty crisp out there, but there might be... We might be at full render distance. It's hard to tell. There's definitely a lot of places I'm seeing fog, which makes me think we're nearly done, if not completely done. Also, as soon as the sun sets, we're going to have problems with phantoms. TSD stands for Team Snow Day. Yeah, that extra 25 chunks of render distance is definitely visible. It's gonna make a difference. If I pull up the screenshot I took before, compared to the screenshots I'm taking now, I think there's gonna be a pretty obvious, like, uh-oh. Yeah, we need, speaking of screenshots, this is our last chance to get a screenshot before, as the sun sets here. Because the phantoms... Whoops. Yeah, we're about to get phantomed on, so... Let's, before the phantoms get here. This is not great for my frame rate, I will say. My frame rate does not like this. Let's put that in our offhand real quick, just as a treat. Okay. Oh, yeah. I'm comparing the two, and the extra 25... Okay, there's a way to do this. There's a way to do this where I can take both of these images, and I can drop them into OBS. Okay. So the difference between 125 and 152. This is the 125 screenshot. This is the 152 screenshot. So that extra 27 chunks gets us a lot of horizon there. It doesn't get us as far as I would like. But the fact that the computer didn't actually crash makes me think I can maybe go further with this. We might experiment with that. Oh, I do like that when I look out there, I can see False's circle thing. It's just like, yep, there's False's. I can just, like, casually probably look that way and see decked out. Assuming I can land safely somewhere. This is not a good way to fly, y'all. Not a good way to fly. Screenshot's still on screen. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you know what? I think we're going to turn that render distance back down for a second. To something more manageable. I think we crashed the game. Oh, good, we didn't. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I think it's time to wrap up this experimental stream. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. This has been a lot of fun. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Oh, yeah, don't forget, tomorrow at this time, Mario Kart on this channel. Tomorrow, or today at this time, or today, let's see, 4 hours from now, basically, TCG on both here and Twitch. I'll have the spectator camera set up on the other computer so I can Twitch stream without simulcasting. So, yeah. Okay. Bye. I need to go buy food. I'm so hungry.